Well, good evening, race fans, and welcome to PSGL's F11, F11, F7. I'm having a flashback moment. My name is Webbo, and I am the season 29 F11 commentator, but here to present to you the F7 race for tonight. This is season 30. This is race 4 of the championship. And we are only a small way into the championship, of course, but I'll run you through the drivers' standings. Smalley is top of the standings with a win and a third place on 30 points, but just 1 point behind is Leroy in the Ferrari with a win, a fastest lap, and a second place. Also having won is Luca, who sits on 21 points, and then we have Wrench, Crimo, Herod, New Jersey, Mr. BT, who reserves Ramazan, Sharkey, and Russell. And Mosey, your top 12. And I'm honestly pretty impressed that there are 10 drivers faster than Russell who have scored more points than Russell, as a driver I know fairly well from elsewhere, as I also know Kev and Mr. BT. I've also commentated over Leroy before, but I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys can do here at the Circuit Paul Ricard, at the south of France, for our next round of the championship. Hi to Mosey, who joins us in the chat. Anybody else joining us? If it's your first time with me, do say hello. Do tell me who you're here to support and enjoy watching, and also let me know any predictions or anything you see that I'm not talking about that is worthy of comment, at least. I can also tell you that following race 3, the stewards have made a decision that affects our racing tonight, and that is for Leroy, who will serve a qualifying ban tonight for an infraction of which I can't give you a great deal of clarity about, but it was certainly multiple incidents on lap 1, I believe, in the Monaco Grand Prix. As far as constructor standings, very early stage of the season, as I said before, but Ferrari lead with 39 points to McLaren's 31. Red Bull are in third with 2 third places on 28 points. Haas on 27. So very close, very tight at the top of the championship. But let's get ourselves organised. Let's get racing, and we'll head out to our first qualifying session here at the Circuit Paul Ricard, a circuit that is flat, it's high grip, it's migraine inducing if you dare to go off track. I haven't had a weather report just yet. I'm hoping to from our drivers, if at all possible, and looking fairly overcast on track right now. And we'll get ourselves organised and get you able to enjoy the race as far as humanly possible. As I say, my name is Webbo. You can find me on Twitter or YouTube and Discord at the WebboRed5 handle that you'll find in the live chat. Looks like Raggy, our session administrator, is one of the first people out on circuit. So we'll check out what they're up to. Leroy has turned up and disappeared again, as he has every right to do, serving a qualifying ban. Of course, he would be allowed to come out and run his setup and do an installation lap, but I think he has declined that opportunity. Case joins us, talking about something completely off topic on our division. Jarno does not race in F7, but I can't really comment on why or whether he should have been penalised or not, I'm afraid. Although I would love to be involved in that kind of level of racing. Raggy is just in the Chicane du Nord, in the middle of the Mistral Straight, of course. And just warming up and getting everything ready to go. Lots of good luck messages in the chat. I did read earlier Leroy was teasing Mr. BT a little bit and said he'll still beat Mr. BT even with a quali ban. So let's see on that one. Let's hope that he doesn't jinx himself. So Mr. BT will be the first driver, Raggy will be the first driver to take us through our racing lap here at the Circuit Paul Ricard. And we're looking for our braking zone as we head down into the Est de la Verrerie, the turns 1 and 2 chicane. And an immediate invalidation, unfortunately. Let's join Sharky instead, and hopefully we'll keep the lap alive for this first banker lap. Sharky in the Ferrari takes the Est de la Verrerie very nicely indeed. And he will now sprint his way, and he invalidates as well, unfortunately. So we'll join Mosey, who is running through the Virage du Camp, and now the Virage du Saint-Baume, and down the first half of the Mistral straight, keeping this lap alive very nicely, running the esports line half on, half off the track, which of course is perfectly valid. 2 wheels on, Chicane du Nord, nice apex cut by Mosey, and very close on the exit as well. Absolutely maximising this lap, running down the left-hand side of the track as they head towards the Sagna corner, flat out in all but the worst type of conditions. Now we're into the double right of de Beausset, and heading now towards Bendor corner. Very long apex Bendor, multiple lines available to the drivers as we go now through Garlabin. And 2 corners to go. This is Virage de la Tour, and the final corner, Virage du Pont. And away then towards the line, really close to that white line as we head towards the finish line. And it is going to be a 1:28.843 for Mosey out there straight away. We know Sharky's had an issue. Let's follow Smalley. We know Smalley was heading the championship, so we'll see how his first banker lap is running as he goes into Sagna. And gradual speed reduction into de Beausset. Bendor corner, very wide entry for Bendor. He's got some traffic ahead of him, but thankfully they know he's there and have kept out of the way. Thanks to their respective Jeffs for that one. And into Dupont for the final time. And away then, little correction on the exit, but Smalley, will this be competitive from the off? For Smalley, it's P2, a 1:30.299. So some speed to find yet, really, for Smalley. We've got an invalidation on the Alpine of Bas Bremer, but Harmon, let's call him Harmon for the sake of for the sake of argument tonight, is through the first sector. Hi to Romain, who joins us as well, who says Louis Roux is who he's here for, who is driving also the French national Alpine team. But this beautiful Aston Martin takes to the Mistral straight. Smalley getting very out of the way, so not even the opportunity for a tow for Harmon. Raggy tells me that the weather is very dry today. So we should have a nice fair fight out there. Not impossible, but more difficult to trigger a safety car through this this race because of the huge runoff areas. Of course, anytime you park the car or distribute debris across the racing line will give that. Oh, Harmon getting it wrong through the Bendor corner. Tried to rescue it, but unfortunately just fell foul of the line, and off he goes then. Luca in the Haas will take up the mantle of the next available hot lap, and he goes into P6 at 29.947. 28.8 is the target time for Mosey after the first round of laps, but Alberto I should say, is heading to the line, and from P11 straight to P2, 1:29.002. Better than Bond goes Alberto in the Haas, so a nice lap from him. Anybody else? Bas Bremer is still running that out lap. I think he might be heading to the pits, and will be looking to make a better run of things. I don't think he's going to go around. No, into the pits. Of course, the pit lane entry, somewhat of a treacherous situation for our drivers out there. Tusum has gone P5, which is nice. So after the first lap, attempts at least, it's Mosey, Alberto, Mr. BT, Sick Boy, Tusum, Wrench, Luca, Smalley, and Russell. Russell with a very slow initial lap out there. And let's have a look at what tyres they're running. Russell has put soft tyres on. Whether his first lap was soft, I'm not sure. Tusum into the pits then. Let's find you a driver out on track. Alberto is busy out on track, and Smalley is coming out for his second lap already. Luca has set his time at 29.9, 1.1 seconds off the pole. He set that on medium tyres, so a big delta. We've got a lot of people watching, but very few people have said hello. So do say hi to us and tell us who you're here to support. Unless you're racing, in which case wait till you've got in the pits. We don't want anybody having issues. Sharky's on a lap right now. Let's join Sharky as he brings the car towards the end of his first proper attempt. Sharky in the Ferrari, near the top of the championship at the moment. The Ferrari team 129.2 sets him at 5th position. And we'll have a look at Raggy as well. Raggy's just coming out of Dupont corner, the final corner. This looks pretty good. It's a long wait for the start-finish line. It's a 29.133, just 0.2 off, 0.3 off pole, and close to that 128 club, of which there is just one member so far tonight. Let's have a look at Smalley. I think Smalley was about to start his lap. A reminder, Smalley is our championship leader just by a single point from Leroy. So it's already getting very important for the defence of that top position in the championship. So close to the edge goes Smalley, a driver comfortable with the car, who really knows the limits of the track and grip. Out there, let's see if this is more like a push lap for him as we close out our first half of the Mistral Straight. We go through Chicane du Nord, and away we go. We'll get a sector update now, and it's a second faster than he's been before, which will get him close towards the front. Mosey goes faster still on a 28.726. I wonder if he is sacrificing any qualifying speed for the race. Of course, time will only tell on that one. And go Smalley then to finish off this lap with two major braking areas to go. This is Virage de la Tour, Virage du Pont, and away to the line. Again, that characteristic small correction on the exit as he sprints towards the line. Ducks the helmet down as low as it can go, and a 28.791 is very close to pole position. Very, very close indeed. Great time from Smalley, our championship leader, from Mosey. Now Harmon next on a lap from 4th position. 29.1 was his first good banker time. Oh, that looked very slow indeed, and yes, indeed, that's closing that one off. So what has Alberto got? He has got an invalidation to answer back. Louis Roch is slow and has invalidated this one, although he's P7 at the moment. Sick Boy in the Mercedes, finishing off the lap very, very slowly indeed, presumably just warming up the car. He'll go for it now though, and we'll ride with Sick Boy in the Mercedes. We haven't ridden with a Mercedes yet. And Gif Bichetreau says Ramazan is who he's here for. Good to hear. Throwing a little bit of French pronunciation around tonight, just for our, in honor of our racing nation. Sick Boy 1.5 tenths faster than he's been before, and it's very, very close at the top of the timing sectors. We've got half a second separating 12 drivers tonight so far, and the session is still young, with times yet to set by Baz Bremer, Kev, Ramazan and Zach. Zach is, I don't know if he's actually a Terminator, but he's T1000 Zach, so maybe. Go through Sanya. We start to brake and engine brake our way through the Debose corner, now into Bendor. A narrow, tight line should give good exit speed, albeit for that little correction on the exit there. And we go into De La Tour and Dupont for the final exit, anticipating a little bit of rear action on the way out, but Sick Boy for the line, and it's a 28.898. He joins the 28 club, of which there are now 5 members. It's Mosey, Luca, Smalley, Sick Boy and Wrench, the top 5 so far in qualifying, with just over 4.5 minutes to go till the checkout. And here goes Baz Bremer. He is, I think, on his in-lap potentially, or is he going to set a banker on this one? I personally, in his position right now, would try and set that banker lap and register it. That Alpine steering wheel, unique in the championship. Anybody else here for a specific driver, or here for a particular bit of entertainment? Baz Bremer on his way in the pits, unfortunately. So it's still Leroy, Kev and Zach yet to set their times. Zach is still about halfway around the lap, so still a ways to go yet for Zach. We'll join Ramazan, but he's coming into the pits. It's that awful time now in the race where we wait and wait and wait for the drivers to come out of the pits, and they will all come out at once, just to make a commentator's life particularly difficult. Waiting, of course, for the very best moment of track evolution to go for it. A reminder, please, to subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave us as many comments as you like, and follow us on socials. The links are at the top of the live chat. Mosey's still on that outlap and ahead on track against Smalley. We know Mosey has got provisional pole already, but he will certainly want to be defending it. Only just shy of 600ths faster than the car in front. He will be distraught to see that McLaren coming out of the pits just in front of him. He'll be hoping that McLaren decides, oh, it's actually a Ferrari, look at that. Must be the sunshine in the south of France, golden hour sunshine, just turning that orange into red. Mosey is driving like a absolute robot through the first sector, beautiful lines, and heading out towards the Mistral Straight. He will get an update on his sector time around and about now. We will wait a little bit further. Ride with Mosey as he crosses the next beam. It's a purple middle sector, which means the fastest middle sector time. Just quick check in with Smalley, who is 3.5 hundredths faster. So faster than he's been through the first sector. We'll ride with Mosey as he sees this lap out. Nearly 0.2 of a second again through that middle sector with that purple time. He follows Zach through the corners. Very wide entry to De La Tour. Now Dupont should be dispatched with quickly. No correction on the exit of Dupont. Knew exactly what his car was about to do. Sprints for the line. And it's a 28.561. It's a brand new pole position from Mosey with a minute left on the clock. Smalley didn't gain a great deal through that second sector. It's there or it's thereabouts. He will easily get onto the front row if he can consolidate the gains he's already made. Wow, very, very close there as he closes in on the end of this fast lap. Ramazan is on track ahead of him, as is another car. Will the little toe help on the way out of the final corner? It's perhaps slightly too distant for Smalley. He goes towards the line, and it will be a 28.730, a new second place time, a 28.730. But Luca is gaining on that time. Luca in third position has enough to be knocking on the door for that front row once again as the track ramps up in grip. Down into Chicane du Nord for Luca, riding those curbs with real precision. Through Sanya, looking a little wide, but it's quick nonetheless. Drags the car into the bend or left-hander. Whoa, that was so close to the ragged edge. Goes Luca. Yeah, he's had enough. He can't challenge this one. That will be it for his lap. What about Mr. BT in the Williams car? He is closing out that first sector, halfway through the second sector. He's finished his time. We'll watch Wrench as he goes for the line. Wrench up to fourth in the Red Bull, a 28.772, so close to P3 for Wrench. Who else is finishing? Twosome finishing off his lap right now. Russell, a new pole position from Russell from out of nowhere in the Alpha Tauri. Russell goes 28.502, 600ths of a second faster than the pole position, leaving it to the dying embers of qualifying as Twosome goes for the line from P10. What will this become? No improvement. So it's not all one-way traffic. A big improvement for Raggy, goes 14th, just shy of 0.2 of a second faster. But wow, Russell from out of nowhere taking the pole position from Mosey, Alberto, Smalley and Wrench, Luca, Sigboy, Louis, Mr. BT and Twosome make out your top 10. I think everybody was trying their best on soft tyres. Leroy, Kev and Zach, no time registered unfortunately. But that was your qualifying session, and if that's anything to go by, the race is going to be magic. Everyone who set a time within 0.7 of a second. This is as tight as you like it. Russell, yeah, he says got it with a sly grin. So Russell for the AlphaTauri team for Germany takes the first position, 28.502, just 0.059 away from Mosey, our Italian Alfa Romeo driver. Fellow Italian in P3, Alberto in the Haas, followed by the Scotsman Smalley in the McLaren, Brazilian Wrench in the Red Bull, Luca, Sickboy, Louis, Mr. BT and Twosome. Then starting on free choice of tyres, first of all will become the Dutchman from Aston Martin, Harman, Ramazan, Sharky, Raggy, Herod, Baz Bremer, Leroy, Kev and Zach make out your 19-car field for the French Grand Prix here at PSGL's F7. Lots of boasting coming in the driver chat for how little practice everybody did. If anyone has a driver excuse bingo card on them, do let me know what else we're looking for, because I've got didn't do any practice, messed up the last corner, haven't got a disconnected yet, so I'm looking for a disconnected. I'm looking for a thanks Jeff. There we go. Yeah, a claim on people's assists. No, assists is line only here in F7, which is very tasty indeed. I do like a low or zero assist group of drivers. Russell's saying he did 5 laps of practice. Sharky saying 2. Smalley 0. Yeah, and it continues. You know the score. If you've watched league racing, you know how it goes. Overcast. No particular great sunshine out there. We'll go for our formation lap but it will be Russell in the AlphaTauri, celebrating Valentine's Day and the launch of the new AlphaTauri car by scoring a pole for his team straight off the bat. We will have a look at our tyre selection. So hard tyres are the choice for 5 of our drivers. Unusual choice, but a very valid strategy and a nice flexible one indeed for Harman, Baz Bremer, Leroy, Kev, and Zach. Medium tyres for the remainder of the bottom 9 drivers, I should say. And then soft tyres, of course, as they qualified on the top 10. So Zach in the McLaren will start at the back with Kev in front, although he's not exactly in front right now. The second Ferrari has dropped behind. Leroy in 17th, Baz Bremer 16th. We've got Herod in the Mercedes in 15th position. Raggy for his Williams team here in 14th. And Sharky Ramazan in 12th. Harman for Aston Martin. Not the best start for Aston Martin, you would definitely say. A big split on the teams, but Haas have got the best team qualifying result, with Tussum in 10th, Mr. BT in 9th there for Williams as well. Then Louis wrenching for the French Alpine team with his French support at the French Grand Prix. Sick Boy in 7th, Luca, Haas driver, in 6th. Then Wrench, the solo Red Bull driver tonight, in P5. Smalley for McLaren, heading the championship in P4. Nice place to start the race. Then Alberto, Mosey and Russell will take us to the formation lap and to the grid. Let me have your predictions. I'd love to know your prediction on how many drivers will finish the race tonight. That's always a good one. Welcome if you're just joining us here for the race. This is PSGL's F7 Championship, round 4. My name is Webbo. I'm here to do a guest performance on the F7. It's very sad. The F7 group don't get a stream normally, so I took pity on them and gave them my free Monday to take us through this start of the race. We will be under starters orders very soon. I will do my best to get you a nice camera angle. Soft, medium, medium. Soft, medium, hard, says Amazon. We know not to necessarily rely on that particularly. Here we go then. We have 5 lights. It's lights out and go, 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 with a nice start there from Russell, Mosey and Alberto getting away nicely. Smalley already past Alberto in the Haas, but his Haas teammate Luca screaming around the outside. They're going to have to play very carefully as they try to navigate turn 2 safely. They're still side by side as they go towards turn 3. Well, we see teammates collide. They give each other room. They're just about got enough room behind them to defend from each other, but the top 3, as they were from the start, a little bit of squeezing to the outside gives Luca to Alberto, and Luca claims superiority on the first sector of lap 1. Russell continues to lead by half a second from Smalley, who's right alongside Mosey as they scream down towards the chicane de Nord for the first time. Mosey with a brilliant overtake on slipstream and traction alone, up to P2 already. Our championship leader in the McLaren goes Smalley. And he will now get a second bite of the cherry as they go towards Sanya for the first time. Russell not scared of an approach from the McLaren, who is almost pushing. You could throw a blanket over both cars as they go through Sanya. It's very dangerous there. Smalley putting himself in a lot of jeopardy as he is very vulnerable there to the aero washout. The top 3 already starting to stretch their legs from the rest of the field as we go towards the very final part of this first racing lap. All drivers have made it through safely. A little bit of a slow one for Herod and Kev, but they're still certainly within sight of the main group. And we go down and we cross the start-finish line for the first time. Russell leads from Smalley, Mosley, Luca, then Alberto, Wrench, Mr. BT and Sick Boy. Reminded then at the quick position change, 2 up for Smalley, 2 up for Mr. BT, 4 up for Zach from near the back of the grid, or the actual back of the grid in the McLaren. So it's McLaren away from the start with the most places gained by team, and just a handful of places lost up and down the grid. Apart from that, A reminder then on the tyre front, Ramazan got ahead of Harman. We know that the medium drivers were all starting together there. So one of the hard drivers has fallen back. I think that's Kev as they go down towards the start-finish, towards the chicane du Nord for the second time. Very close. I think the gaps will start to stretch slightly now as they wait and try and stay in touch of the DRS line. So Smalley, breathless first lap and a half. Smalley right on the gearbox of Russell as they go into the double right of Dubose, double droit, Dubose, I should say, if I'm giving it the proper treatment for this Circuit de Paul Ricard. Mosey 1/3 of a second back. Smalley about the same now from Russell, and they'll get DRS enabled on the next start-finish straight, but not available until the first trip down the Mistral straight. And Smalley will be advantage Smalley as Mosey is very close here to the back of the McLaren driver, but patient driving from everybody. A pit stop there from Kev. That's very much plan B for the Aston Martin driver who started on hards. Those hard tyres won't even come up to temperature by the time he's taken his first pit stop. So what will he do? Goes on to medium tyres. Nice flexible option for the remainder of this first stint. Mosey is seemingly getting out of behind the slipstream. I think Smalley's going to have a go here. He's going to go down the inside. Russell gives him a car's width on the inside, and very smart indeed he was too. Now advantage possibly Mosey on the way through down here towards Sanya. There won't be a DRS zone down this bit of the next straight, so Russell can relax and breathe a little bit easier. Not too easy though. Smalley moving around in his mirrors, and Russell wanting, of course, to get back on terms with this championship. We are 3 races down. This is the 4th race, and he's way down in P11 in the championship at the moment, so very much not where he wants to be as he climbs his way through the rankings. So Russell from Smalley and Mosey, Luca Alberto Wrench, Mr. BT Sick Boy, Louis Rocks and Tusum, your top 10 as we go through lap 3. Smalley with the DRS, will he draw alongside? Not quite, and can't quite get it done into turn 1. He has, of course, the impetus here, the first car with the DRS over the driver ahead, and we have a DRS train all the way down to P11 from P1. Such is the field spread that we witnessed in qualifying, seemingly true in the race as well. Russell looking a little wide through the Virage du Saint-Bem, and I think that might be advantage Smalley as he gets the DRS, gets a nice simple pass done. I think that was all undone in the approach to the Mistral straight by Russell. Just got slightly wide, slightly offline, and advantage Smalley takes the lead on lap 4 of 27 here at the French Grand Prix. F1 fan says go Russell. Raven says shame. Raven, what's a shame? What aren't you enjoying, or who did you come for? Is it Kev? Is it Harman, or are you just an Aston Martin fan? And unfortunate, oh, a big moment for Mosey. Turns the car round into the Dubose double right, and Mosey dropping down the order, unfortunately for him. Rejoins in 13th, trying to get the tyres back up to temperature, but that one was a big moment for our former 3rd place driver. Russell, I don't think, is going to panic at this point because he knows that there's a long way to go in this race, and that's presumably why he didn't fight it too much. Smalley gets the fastest lap on the end of the 4th lap there, start of the 5th, and our solo Red Bull driven by Wrench is very close to the driver in front as well. So big move there for Mosey, who goes in the pits actually and puts hard tyres on. So just having rubbished that set of softs, heads into the pits. Had a moment there for a Williams driver. I think that was Mr. BT going wide, but no problem for him as Russell closes in on Smalley. Starts weaving around in the braking zone, but Smalley not taking the bait just yet. Russell will get a slipstream only down this second half of the Mistral Straight. And Zexa from TNR says, go on Leroy. So he's here for Leroy. Leroy currently in 11th place on hard tyres, in a good place at the moment. Second furthest back driver. Hard soft is definitely an option tonight. Definitely an option to visit if you didn't manage to qualify in that top 10. You can see here Russell getting close. Alberto pits from the end of lap 4 on soft tyres, gets past both drivers on the pit entry, given that it's straight while everyone else is turning and slowing, but of course dropping down now. He dispatches with those soft tyres. He's scrubbed those softs right off and is looking for a better set of tyres to finish this race. He's come out for a set of hard tyres now. So he's running a soft hard strategy. Soft medium is the normal way to go here. That is what we are generally expecting. Russell hesitant on the throttle on the approach to the Mistral Straight first half. After that wide moment on the previous lap cost him dearly. Further back, just stretching, almost out of DRS range now is Wrench from the top 3, but just about staying in that precious 1 second window. Goes through Chicane du Nord. And we're waiting for the first pit stop round for the top 7 drivers. Everybody else is on their longer stint of tyres, whether that's a pit stop or otherwise. Russell closing on the back of Smalley as they approach Sanya and go through Bendor. Excuse me, through Dubose. Now they're in Bendor. Bendor is the left-hander. Russell looking like he's got a little bit better grip there, or at least a different line through Bendor into De La Tour and Dupont. We've got a car pitting in the background. It's Wrench. It's a lot of drivers. It's the bottom half of the top 7 who all pit on the same lap. I wonder who will light the touch paper as they go here towards the end of lap the start of lap 7 for the top 4 drivers now. Russell very, very close here. I wonder if he is planning to do the opposite of the McLaren Championship leading driver Smalley at this stage of the race. It all depends on tyre wear. Of course, you can gain from the undercut, but you can leave yourself with far too long a second stint to run for comfort if you go too early. Russell gaining as they go towards that Chicane du Nord. Not close enough, 2/10 as they enter the braking zone. Might be able to catch back on the way down the second part of the Mistral Straight. Let's feel that slipstream on the driver now. You can feel the car pulling towards the McLaren in front, but he will lose aero, especially through this next one, unless he knows to crank the steering that little bit extra and scrub the tyres that extra bit more. Sick Boy has dropped back, so we have broken that DRS train that was every soft runner is now far fewer, just down to the top 3. And any sign of a pit stop from our drivers? Yes, it's Luca who comes in. So both Haas drivers pitting before the top 2. Better get on terms with Russell and Smalley though, because they might be about to have a challenge towards turn 1. Russell trying to put off the driver in front. Sick Boy hasn't gone to the pits, but he has a medium shod driver of Ramazan right behind him. So it's Forza AlphaTauri at this stage of the race in 2nd and 4th, although Russell yet to pit. Keep an eye on those Haas drivers, Alberto and Luca. Alberto pitted before Luca and has come out ahead of him out of the pits, so the undercut working to a certain degree. Here comes Russell then, down the inside, and a DRS pass towards the Chicane du Nord. Russell resumes the lead of the race, and he gets the impetus as they head towards the first pit stops. Has he got far enough ahead of Smalley, who will try and use the slipstream? Yeah, I think he's too far ahead for another challenge. Kev with a penalty. so far. Penalties for Luca, Mr. BT, Kev and Leroy out there. So the first pit stop's coming up very soon for the drivers. I'll stay on board with Smalley here as we see who goes for it. Looks like Ramazan has got past Sick Boy, and it is Smalley who goes in the pits and decides to try the undercut on Russell, who has the track all to himself. Nice clear track ahead. And how much has he saved for this particular moment? He saved 68% of his ERS. I can't, of course, tell you how much tyre life he saved for this one, but it's time to drop the hammer. It's time to go for it for Russell. Sick Boy gives up that pit stop opportunity as well, which is somewhat questionable given he'd already gone past one of the non-soft runners in Ramazan. We've got Mr. BT has retired from the session, unfortunately, and I can't see exactly why. There he is in the pit stop. He's retired in the pits, as we absolutely want to see from any driver, so as to not trigger a caution period. Mr. BT drops down to 18th and is out of the race, unfortunately. So as I say, it's now hammer time for Russell, who will try and defend that undercut and just simply hope that Smalley has caught in some traffic, and I think he has. I think Smalley has got behind both Luca and Alberto, whose undercuts have worked beautifully. They're on different tyres as well. They are slow and they are defending hard. Wrench, Alberto, Luca, the order down here in the tail of the field. So if Russell saved enough to get on terms, if he's got a good engineer telling him right now to push to the max, he might be able to get out ahead of his rival Smalley. Here he comes into the pits, and we'll rejoin back with Smalley and Luca and Alberto and see where Russell comes out. Are they all holding up each other? It is slow going through here as the hard tyres on the Haas cars and Wrench's Red Bull in front are slowing Smalley. Let's see what happens as we wait for Russell to come out of the pits. Of course, a dive down the inside goes Smalley, risking it all, and manages to retake that position. We'll ride on board and see where Russell comes out. They've got past Russell. Russell drops back now. So the in-lap for Russell was not sufficient to defend from even a compromised outlap from Smalley. Russell has dropped down behind Luca and Tusum as well as Smalley. So with lots of racing still to do. Of course, he's got slightly younger tyres as Smalley goes down the inside, but it's a half-hearted attempt, and that's a very easy way to lose a front wing. Smalley on the aggressive on the medium tyres. Now he should have a good run here with the DRS, although the car in front has also got DRS. Smalley up the inside. Is it enough to get more than halfway up? Yes, it is. Good pass from Smalley. Oh, a little touch maybe, but up to 10th place after the pit stops goes Smalley. Ramazan has the lead of our race on medium tyres, currently 9 laps old. And what about what else is happening? There's another McLaren here. It's Zach, close up behind Leroy, and Zach also has the Williams of Raggy for company right behind him. Mr. BT, I'd love to see what happened. I'd love to have some extra words about what happened at the end. Do tell, because I didn't see it. So Zach then 3rd place, and able to use the DRS on the Ferrari ahead of Leroy, but not enough to make a pass work out. Smalley's got by Luca. He's now just got Wrench ahead slow on the hard tyres. So Smalley trying to get away from Russell as quickly as possible as Russell goes for a move, but it's not quite close enough as they go through the first sector. Russell super frustrated. He's got 3 cars in between him and his erstwhile challenger rival for the top step of the podium. Russell will get DRS here, get a good squeeze of ERS on the way out as well. Good traction on the medium tyres, and gets convincingly past the driver in front, but he's got a lot to do. Leroy out of the race. Leroy has retired from our race. I can't see why. What happened to Leroy? Let's go down to Kev and see. can we see on board Kev? Leroy on the exit of Chicane du Nord has left the session, and that might trigger a safety car, will it? Let's see. No, the stewards have thankfully cleared the safety car. Raggy is now close behind Zach as the starters from the tail end of the grid start to finish off their first stint. And we'll get an update, of course, once they pit, of where everything and everybody stands with regard to their race position gain. Smalley, followed by Russell, get fastest lap. So it's clearly battle lines being drawn. I think it's really interesting to see how Russell is getting through the field here. AlphaTauri versus Haas as they go down in towards the end of Sector 1. Let's be patient and not go for any dodgy moves. Right underneath the gearbox of the Haas with superior grip on the way out. Russell knows he needs to make hay while the sun shines on his medium tyres versus the Haas in front. Goes straight on by with a little bit of help from the slipstream of the Red Bull in front. Closes out the Haas on the way into braking and through into P9. He can now see his rival 1.5, just over seconds ahead, as he tries to draw alongside Wrench on the way into Sanya. This is going to be a low percentage move. Oh, can they hang on? He claims the inside as they now go into Debose. There's enough room for both cars as they go through, and they will drag it out, and Wrench is fighting to hold on to this place. Brilliant driving from both guys here. Russell might have given up a position, a warning there, and they're still fighting, and he should have the inside line as they go into Virage du Pont for the final corner of the race. And finally Russell gets by, but it was very hard work indeed to get on by there. So lap 13 sees Ramazan, Zach, Raggy, Herod and Harman yet to pit from Smalley, who has pitted from the net lead of the race, with Russell with just one car. That's Baz Bremer we ride with in between them. Then it's Luca, Wrench, Alberto, Twosome, Sickboy, Louis and Kev. 15 drivers remain with almost half the race gone, and we started with 19, so we're not doing too badly out here at PSGL's F7 race. A bit further back, Wrench going for a move on the Haas of Alberto and cleanly by. My apologies for the trackside camera that gives you zero view on Chicane du Nord, which is incredibly frustrating. Alberto trying to come back and challenging back on the Red Bull. Nice retaliation there, exactly what we want to see. Very clean, very, very nice indeed. Alberto getting back. So Russell 7/10 behind Baz Bremer, and who is in turn 8/10 behind Russell's main rival tonight, who is Smalley, the championship leader. Ramazan is in the pits. His medium tyres have gone to lap 12. End of lap 13, and they've cried foul, cried enough. Be interesting to see the difference between medium soft and hard soft as strategies tonight. I think the hard runners will have the edge here, but right at the front it's a three-way battle at the moment for the lead drivers yet to pit. That's Zach, Raggy and Herod. Remember, Zach started at the back of this race and is up 18 places right now, so tremendous work from the McLaren boys. They've obviously really got into the strategy today, really got into the race setup, and are currently running first and fifth. Of course, the longer the late stoppers wait to make their first pit stop, the more the field spreads out and the better their opportunities develop as they get towards the end of the race. Of course, that is all assuming no safety cars tonight, which would be a shame to ruin lots of people's races, but you know how Bernd Mailander likes to play. Smalley on Harman as they close out the end of this 14th lap. Smalley, Harman with some sparks flying off the bottom of the Aston Martin there, but Smalley less so. So obviously Harman running a lower ride height. So Smalley with DRS. Harman defends to the inside, but there's nothing he can do about that overspeed as Russell gets a new fastest lap and might be shredding those tyres a little bit more than Smalley, who was held up a little bit there. But I think Russell will be in range of Harman as they go towards the Mistral Straight for the 15th time of asking tonight. And they head towards the Chicane du Nord as Russell draws alongside, gets the inside line. Should leave a little gap, but doesn't, just trusts the Aston Martin to disappear and gets by comfortably. So 4th and 5th now, Smalley and Russell. Zach continues to lead, but only by 0.2 of a second as these top 3 drivers yet to pit are nose to tail. Of course, the longer that those hard runners can wait to change tyres, the better their soft stint will be, and shorter their soft stint will be. If they can get themselves towards lap 20, they'll be very happy indeed. None of the top 3 electing to pit here. Somewhat surprisingly, these medium runners, they just have to hang on to their medium tyres. Herod with a good run now on Raggy, but I fear that DRS train effect is going to halt his progress. Zach has actually got better grip at this stage. Whoa, wide goes Herod. And you're losing the car under the aero wake into turn 1. The first part of the S de la Verrerie, and it didn't work for Herod, of course, catching back up quite quickly. Raggy will start the Mistral Straight something like 3/4 of a second back from Zach. How close can he get? As you hear the beep, that means he can press the DRS button and go for it. Closes in, but only gains in the region of 1/4 of a second, so really needs to be a lot closer to make the pass work. What about Smalley and Russell? And they do battle again. Swords are drawn, and this battle that we watched earlier on has resumed now. Smalley versus Russell for, all being well, the net lead as Baz Bremer comes up to the back of Luca. I think Luca maybe have just got past him, the Alpine, but Baz Bremer is so close to the driver in front. You can see the washout there. He's just not turning as much as he needs to get the car in, and a little swap out from the back end as well, just to boot. Again, those medium runners not able to pit just yet from the lead of the race. There's not enough of the race left to run it on a soft stint. So Mr. BT says he got wing damage from Louis after he went down the inside and cut across the apex, so he'll be reporting. Here comes Russell. Wow, very close under braking. Russell's going to need to be super patient now, because it's so easy to get too close at the wrong part of this Circuit de Paul Ricard and end up running it into the back of the driver and give up your opportunity to use that Mistral Straight. But thanks to Mr. BT for stopping by and letting us know. He says it wasn't a terrible accident, it's just motor racing, unfortunately. Here comes Russell then, DRS on, but it looks like Smalley's been using some ERS to defend. Russell's got a great run here. He might draw alongside for the lead, right down into the braking zone, and Russell takes the lead on lap 17. Beautiful stuff. And tries now to get away from the McLaren as they head towards Sanya here for the 17th time. And Russell, advantage Russell here on the medium tyres. They're very much in the sweet spot, but he's now going to be watching his mirrors. So was it a good time to make the pass? Was it the only time to make the pass? Or will we see some more back and forth between these three? Luca Harman and Baz Bremer still fighting. I'll just check in with the front 3 drivers as in comes Herod. Temporarily gets ahead of Zach and Raggy. So Herod is going to be asking 10 laps out of his soft tyres. We'll see how much of the race he has gained with just the top 2 runners now, Zach and Raggy, who are yet to pit. And we'll get a good look at positions gained once they've come out of the pits and get a fair look at everything. Russell looking good here against Smalley, just opening that gap a little bit. We know it needs to be within half a second to really be having a go into the Chicane du Nord. But Russell, a 3-second time penalty could be the undoing of his race. We saw him wiggle around. He's absolutely out of shape, and should be easy pickings for Smalley. He's already got by Smalley with a mistake from Russell. Smalley gets ahead, and Russell has doubled the workload by adding 3 seconds to his race time. Luca starting to catch as well now, so Russell's just making life very difficult for himself. I don't know how Smalley is doing on warnings similarly, but Russell, yeah, definitely not helping himself with that little penalty and losing the lead. Had it all right on the previous lap, but it all went wrong there. Still 9 laps to go as Kev gets the fastest lap on relatively new mediums, not super new mediums. And we see our erstwhile top 3 runner Herod on soft tyres now down into 14th position. Into the pits comes the top 2, Zach and Raggy. So hard tyres and soft and medium tyres running the same length, but splitting the difference to the end of the race, and they drop all the way back. And will that terminate around 10th and 11th, or will they head all the way back behind Raggy? Raggy pits now as well, look. So Herod behind Louis now in 12th place, but with soft tyres on, and the field is very close to one another. It's really competitive out here in PSGL's F7. Russell now 0.3 of a second back from Smalley, getting a much better run through there, and should be a nice DRS pass. Russell managed to get his tyres back under temperature and retake the lead on lap 19. Smalley held it for just a single lap. It's Russell, Smalley, Luca, Baz Bremer, Harmon, Wrench, Tusum, Sick Boy, Alberto, Ramazan, your top 10, followed by Louis, Herod, Zach, Raggy and Kev. Watch out for Herod, Zach and Raggy as they finish off this race on the best tyres. And track position gained. Baz Bremer has gone up 12 places and is still competing out there in the Alpine in 4th place. Tremendous effort, and he's still just 1.5 seconds off the podium position, although it could well be that Luca is his penalty has closed him to within range. Baz Bremer now in the pits. Of course, he made an early pit stop for his hard tyres following an incident. Fastest lap for Russell on lap 20, at the end of lap 20 I should say. So Harmon, the next best driver out there, up 7 places. Zach also up 7, although he's gained from the majority of the retirements out on the track. And a quick look then at the penalty situation. 3 seconds for Russell, and Smalley will probably be quite happy to just stay on behind him and not challenge him too much. Could force an extra error, could end up causing himself to get a 3-second penalty if he battles too hard. So the game is relatively straightforward for Smalley. Just don't let Russell get too far ahead. Of course, the reverse is true for Russell. Wrench is close, as is Tusum, as they get towards each other there. Harmon, Wrench and Tusum 4th, 5th and 6th. The battle for 4th place, with Sick Boy closing as well. Some derating going on towards the Sanya corner, end of the second part of the Mistral straight. They get very close to one another, and we will see accidents as this race finishes up, as drivers' limit of focus, limit of tyre adhesion gets right to the edge, and they will start dropping off. So stay with us with 7 laps to go. Anything can happen here, and as the great Murray Walker used to say, anything can happen in Formula 1, and it usually does. Harmon in the pits then. He's gone in for a new set of tyres. Should be softs to the end. So Smalley closes to Russell, but doesn't quite get there. Doesn't quite get close enough. To some Sick Boy and Alberto very close to one another as well, down there in 5th, 6th and 7th. And I think the field is starting to condense now that the tyre delta and pit stops are all dealt with. Harmon will rejoin in around 13th or 14th position. I think 13th will be the order of the day. Remember, Herod, Zach, Raggy on those soft tyres. Let's just check I got that right. Yes, with the drivers behind them. Also, Herod now 2/10 back from Ramazan, and should have this fairly easily. Ramazan determined not to give up the inside of the track, but unfortunately nothing he can do about Herod catching and passing. Herod up to P8 on soft tyres, and you can see lots of drivers ahead of him. It's certainly not game over for Herod. Lots of movement in the braking, well, near braking zone for the Debose corner. They go side by side. Oh, there's a little squeeze. The Mercedes driver knows he's got the inside here, but he's going to give up the inside next and then have the inside for the final corner. And this battle, 5 corners long, side by side they go. And again, out onto the start-finish straight. They're still next to each other. Great driving from these F7 drivers. Smalley getting very close, but no cigar on the back of Russell. Maybe next time. With 5 to go now. 5 to go. It's Russell, Smalley, Luca, Wrench, Sick Boy, Tusum, Alberto, Herod, Ramazan and Zach, who's made it up into the top 10 on that alternate strategy. And Smalley, Eddie says, is Opmir here? I'm afraid Opmir is not with us tonight, not in F7, but we do get lots of competitive racing nonetheless. Smalley getting very close to Russell, just showing him that he's there, showing him that he's not going to get that 3-second window that he's desperately looking for. Remember those penalties. We've got tyre situation right now, but the penalties are Russell with a 3-second penalty against Smalley, who's less than 0.2 of a second behind as they go through Sanya here for the 22nd time at racing speed. Do please remember to subscribe to the channel tonight, to like the video and follow the channel and myself, WebberRed5, on Twitter. You can find the links at the top of the live chat. As we go now, just 4 racing laps to run. Russell leads Smalley, and they've been battling all race long. How much has Russell kept in the tank? He's kept 44%. Smalley with 44, Russell with a lot less ERS, so it's definitely going to be close here, as it is in the battle for 4th place. Wrench, Sick Boy, Tusum and Alberto all within sight of each other. Louis has exited the race. Louis out of the race, has gone into the pits and has retired from the race there in the pits, as we like drivers to do, but unfortunately Louis has gone, and that means we're down to 14 drivers from 19 starters, and at full racing speed with no full course cautions to speak of, we are doing very well indeed here. 4 to go, and if we can get a couple more laps out of the way, then Bernd Mailander will have to pack his bags and catch the flight to the next Grand Prix. Round the outside goes Sick Boy round Sanya. It's not every day you see that move pulled off. I wonder if he'll be able to hold on as he gets a little squeeze for his troubles. Very nice and nicely done from everybody. The concertina effect never more apparent as it is between Tusum, Alberto and Herod as they close in. Now Herod's got the advantage of the soft tyres, we know that, but Wrench will be keeping a very close eye on his mirrors, and we start the 24th lap with Russell, Smalley, Luca, Wrench, Sick Boy, Tusum, Alberto, Herod, Zach and Raggy, your top 10 drivers. The battle absolutely drawn here. I will keep my eye on the gap at the front, but this battle for 4th place is electric. Luca has entered the fray when it comes to the battle on the road, at least between the top 2, the main podium positions, and these 3 have absolutely been the quickest drivers of the night. But Luca has a 6-second penalty, so we'll exit this one. He needs to catch, he needs to pass and get away from Wrench here, who is still within that delta on the penalties. Tusum will gain significant places if he can hang on where he is. but no racing driver wants to hang on where they are, do they? They want to pass whoever possible, especially if someone's up in front, because they never know if it's possible to get a driver to they might get their penalty invalidated. Smalley within 1/10 of the lead, but no way by just yet from Russell. So we will cross the line shortly for 2 complete laps to run. As they head into the final corner now. Nice gap developing between the top 3 and the rest. Smalley is not quite close enough. It's really hard to stay within range here. Start-finish straight is relatively short compared to the Mistral straight sections. No way by either for Sick Boy, Tusum and Alberto. Smalley will be within range here of a challenge. The only driver in the top 5, Smalley, without a penalty. Can he keep it that way for 2 more laps? Here comes Smalley with an advantage. Does Russell defend? No, Russell would rather be the hunter than the hunted as they approach the final 2 laps. Smalley takes the lead on lap 25. Yet again from Russell, it's been ding-dong between these two all the way through. Russell's not going to get away from Smalley, but he might be able to have a go and force Smalley into an error, especially if he can get on the inside of him on one of these corners and just force him out wide. They close together as they go through the bend or left-hander. This is the Courbe de Garbin, sort of relatively flat-out right-hander, as they then condense the front suspension, lean on that front right into the Virage de la Tour and down the start-finish straight. And we are closing in on the very end of this race. Russell with the DRS gets up the inside. I think Smalley's, I was going to say relatively happy to live there, but he's not, as they go side by side. And Russell's going to need to look out behind, because up the inside becomes the Haas driver. Russell gives up the inside, leaves the gap, and Luca beautifully by in the first sector. The undoing of that was all about where Smalley kept himself on the inside through turn 1. Now it's all to do for Russell to try and get this win back, or at least the win on the road, as now Luca moves up towards Smalley with a good run, and Luca with 1 attempt takes the lead on lap 27. Luca with a double move within a sector and a half, the first half of the lap, and gets up into the lead of this race. But remember, 9 seconds now of penalties on Luca's car. It's going to be a long fall back down the grid for Luca. Smalley will need to defend here from Russell, but he'd be grateful that they've both got the DRS. Wrench, Sick Boy and Tusum have all closed in on this gap, and Tusum will gain significant places here if he can just close up that gap to Sick Boy. And these drivers will start to slow each other down. Alberto with another penalty out there. I'm honestly quite surprised at the number of penalties. Just shows how hard these high quality, high level drivers are pushing. What about Wrench here as he goes for a move on Russell? The hard tyres really coming into their own now. It's advantage hard runners, double advantage soft runners right now. Tusum out of the race. I can't believe it. He was doing so well. Tusum out of the race in the pits on the penultimate lap of the race as they start the final lap now. Luca has the lead on the road, but Smalley in the best position out there. Luca you can almost disregard with the number of penalties, so Russell will try and get Smalley. He won't go any further back given the penalties behind him, but Russell with it all to do. What about Sick Boy as he comes up the inside? He doesn't get the inside. It's Reg holds off on the inside there from Sick Boy and holds on to 4th place. Will it become 3rd place? Will this be for a podium as they pass one of the ghosted drivers in the lapped vehicles? It's one of the Aston Martins and it's very difficult because the air is still disturbed from a ghosted car who's actually quicker on soft tyres against Smalley. But Luca is finishing off this race to finish now here, but it will not be Luca that takes the win in the end. Have we got some action further back? A Sick Boy trying to launch one down the inside. It's not going to go quite. Smalley, your championship leader, comes out of the final corner, and Smalley will win the French Grand Prix in F7 round 4. Smalley from Russell and Wrench, and they took it to the wire. Zach, what a climb up the field for Zach from P4, followed by Herod and Sick Boy. Luca, who crossed the line first, demoted all the way down to P7. We have Alberto, his teammate, in P8. They started together after the first few corners. They finished together. Then Ramazan, the second of the Alpha Tauri drivers from Baz Bremer. Raggy, Harmon just finishing off the race now, and Kev, Aston Martin with a pretty unpleasant race, but they still get 12th and 13th place. But tonight is all about Smalley, the championship leader, taking a further lead. Russell gaining some places in the championship after starting this race in P11 in the championship with a second place. Surely has gained a lot. And Wrench right up there. Fastest lap goes to Kev, so he steals it from anybody. He doesn't get it himself, of course, for finishing outside the top 10. Zach, 15 place climb has to be driver of the day for anybody's vote. Herod with a 10 place gain, who would normally expect to get driver of the day. But yeah, Smalley, Russell and Wrench. Zach, what a drive from Zach and from McLaren overall. Brilliant stuff, as they will surely lead the championship on the way out of this race, and look forward to round 5 next week here at PSGL. Great race out there. GG's all around. Zach, of course, with the driver of the day, awarded by Anthony Davidson. And there's your McLaren driver. Smalley extends his lead in the championship. It's going to be a lot more than 1 point now. And Russell also looking to gain and head up the championship. Scotland, Germany and Brazil on the podium. I'm hearing lots of happy noises coming from Russell, from Smalley. And Russell saying this is why he was so slow in the last 6 laps. He was managing the tyres. So Smalley takes the win. Just over 42.5 minutes there of race time. Very quick race from Russell and Wrench. Then Zach. We have lots of different nationalities, 6 different nationalities in the top 6. Zach, driver of the day performance, 19th up to P4. Then Herod, Sick Boy, Luca, Alberto, Ramazan, Baz Bremer. Score points followed by F7 admin Raggy in P11. And thanks to Raggy for running the show today. Brilliant stuff. Then Harmon, Kev were your finishers. Unfortunately, we lost Tusum, who was on for a good result. Then Louis, Leroy, Sharky, Mr. BT and Mosey all went home for an early bath. Raggy is not super happy, let's say, finishing all of that race with just P11. Smalley said he got to 60% tyre wear with 6 laps left and then realised he needed to save the tyres. So maybe some race management might be something to take away from that. But he did a good job all the same. Won the race, did what he needed to do, and kept it clean as well, which was the key to victory tonight, I think. Some GGs coming out in the driver chat. Well, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's stream. I've certainly enjoyed a taste of F7. It was a lot of fun. And do tune in, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any racing action. I've been Webbo. You can follow my broadcasts at WebboRed5. I cross-post every live stream on Twitter. But until next time, and thank you to everybody, I will catch you all on the next race day.